All right, on a count of 3, I want you all to boo me. 1, 2, 3. See, that wasn't loud enough. All right. See, that is getting me a little bit uncomfortable now, and I figured that I needed to practice something before I preach it. So my talk today is get uncomfortable now. Uncomfortable, get out of your comfort zone. Because I believe, and the proposition is, that when you're out of your comfort zone, it stimulates growth. So what feeds my brain is diversity of experience, and that's what stimulates my growth and my brain. So who am I? I'm Iram, I'm Pakistani. I'm an engineer turned filmmaker. That's me dancing, that's me on set, that's me dancing again, that's me socializing, that's me being a nerd. Nerds are really cool. That's at the Olympiads, the camp leading to Olympiads in Pakistan. Critics like to call me confused, but I like to call myself well-rounded, and I'm going to preach that in a bit. So my talk goes to 3 points. I'm going to round it up to 3 points, and I promise it'll all come together. The first one is finding your insides, your internal you, finding your individuality, your uniqueness. I strongly believe that each one of us here has a gift, something that you are specifically better at than everyone else around you, even if it's a teeny-weeny bit. Better than maybe the person next to you, better than the people in your town, better than the people in your nation or the world. And it behooves you, it behooves each one of us to find out what that uniqueness is, what that individuality is. And the reason I say that is, that's going to keep coming up in your life, whether it's a job interview, whether it is a date, whether it is, you're depressed and low in bed and you want to know what you're really good at. So what I'm trying to propose here is that the more you get out of your comfort zone, you diversify your experiences, you go out there, you meet new people, you wear new clothes, you taste new foods, you are going to grow, you're going to get to know who you really are in these different circumstances because you see how you react with different people, you see who you really are in that instance. How many of us know what a left and right brain is? Quite a few. Okay, so basically, the left brain is the more organized, the more rational, the more exact, and the right brain, I feel, is the more cool, creative, free-flowing one. And I guess in my diversity of experiences, I'm also saying that you need to put yourself in experiences that challenge both your left and right brain. And I obviously say that because I'm an engineer turned filmmaker, but I also feel, I truly believe that in order to round up that individuality in you, in order to really develop, for humans to develop themselves or human societies, you need to feed into both the science and the art. I wrote something that said how Caltech taught me filmmaking. It was an absurd article, but it's really true. I think that the science in me, it teaches the data, the problem-solving analysis, the structure, and sort of grounds the chaos in my art. So first point, finding your individuality, finding your uniqueness. And then, before I go on to this next point, actually, you probably know a lot of scientists and artists, a lot of scientists who are great at art, and a lot of artists who are great at science. I mean, Einstein was a physicist and a very well-practiced musician. He, in fact, said that the greatest scientists are artists as well. Da Vinci, known better as like a sculptor, sketch artist, great at geometry, math, amongst other things. And that, I believe, is because it all comes from the same inspiration point. It all comes from trying to figure out who we really are as people, where we've come from, where we're going. Whether it's an experiment, whether it's a painting, whether it's film, whether it's sketch. So since the inspiration is common, it's not really surprising that science and art have such a link. So explore. So I wanted to tell each one of you, and parents might not be really happy with this, but I'm saying go travel. Travel alone to places that might not seem very friendly, disclaimer. But you need to go out there, you need to see the world. Because in this day and age, I don't believe it's a luxury or a privilege anymore to travel. It's a duty for everyone to travel, to get to know the rest of the world, obviously within your means, wherever you can go. But put yourself in a new place, learn about new people, and the reason that is the next point. So you figure out who you really are, you figured out the internal. Now you need to figure out the external. And that is because now when you know who you really are, you have to figure out what is around you and how are you going to match that? How are you going to exploit the opportunities of the world to best, grow yourself? Does that make sense? So explore, travel, absorb, and you're doing that to develop your intuition. You're doing that to develop, or inform that intuition. So all these thought patterns, when you meet new people, when you taste new foods, when you wear new colors, all these thought patterns are going to form experiences for your future self that then you can rely on and lean back upon. So you become more and more sort of balanced in life. This is a talk I gave in my high school in Pakistan, and the title stuck with me. It's called Chasing a Mirage. We all know what a mirage is. It's a visual illusion, so you think there's water, but when you get there, there isn't. And I feel sometimes life is a little bit like that. You really have these dreams and aspirations and goals, and when you get there, it's different. It might be better, it might be worse, but it's something different. So what I'm getting at is that the more you get to figure out your individuality, the more you get to understand the world around you, the more you then get to use, adapt, help the world around you by matching the internal and external, you're going to live a fuller life. And in living a fuller life and in living in that moment, you're going to enjoy the chasing and not focus on the mirage. Does that make sense? So really try and live in the moment, understand who you are, understand what the world is around you, stop, absorb, and get uncomfortable. So the 3 parting thoughts are, figure out your uniqueness, travel alone, build and follow your heart and your intuition. And this intuition is not just something I feel, there's all these books, there's Malcolm Gladwell amongst a lot of others who talk about intuition. And I think it's not just something I feel that, you're born with a certain instinct, but in life, the more experiences you have, the more you rack up that interaction with the environment, the external and the internal, the more you're going to develop that intuition, that thought, that gut, that instinct, that heart. So give yourself enough experience so that then that intuition and that heart really sort of leads you without too much, confusion in life. So the more you get to know yourself, the easier it's going to be, I think. So this is an annoying quote that's at the end of every email I put. Without exception, everyone was born with creative ability. It is essential that people be given the opportunity to express themselves. I'm sure each one of you has something that you're really good at, creative, art, science, whatever it is, but you need to find that and you need to get at it now. And at the end, I was just going to say that, the more you know about who you are, the more individual thinkers we create, the less likely we are to be forced with mob mentality and mass mentality in this world today. And when we shall have conscious, creative, responsible, individual thinkers, we shall be in a more upward-looking socio-geopolitical global society tomorrow. And we're going to have fun living together. Thank you so much.